your mama's favorite podcast and the #1 unknown podcast in the world. Thanks for coming and subscribe to the channel. Freddie, what up, man?
What's going on? I thought you were about to yell at me, dude.
No.
Hell yeah. Back at it again with another episode of DTI. I'm enjoying it.
This is, it's early. It's 14 degrees.
It's cold here. It is cold here, but I think that the cold should have shocked you. Let's get the energy up a little bit. Let's get the tired out of the voice.
Dude, my car still has ice on it.
Did you guys not get sun in the morning yet or yesterday?
We did, but my car was at the garage, so it was being blocked by the building. But then I parked on the road last night, so I thought it'd be good. The spots I didn't clean, still sheets of ice.
Damn. Yeah, it was pretty snowy here, or like icy here, the past couple days, and then the sun came out and melted it within like an hour or so. Was supposed to travel this week, but didn't end up having to travel, so it's getting pushed to next week. Pros and cons to it. Am I real upset? Not really.
I'm also traveling next week.
Seems like it's going to be a constant pattern now that my boy is integrated with this company he's at, and you got big things cooking there.
Yeah, but I'm not happy about it. I don't want to go. My mom was like, "Oh, you're like Freddie," and I said, "Yeah, but like Freddie can drive. Like most of Freddie's is a drivable trip." I said, "I'm going to fucking Montana next week."
Yeah, that's crazy. It's probably going to be cold there.
Yeah, they're already like, just be prepared if your shit gets delayed.
Yeah, makes sense. That time of year. Hopefully it passes a little bit sooner. I was in Florida, and then it was like 70 degrees and sunny, and then I came back here, and it was like 14 and sleeting.
I was loving that Florida running weather.
Yeah.
Morning was nice, dude.
Real nice.
There was a trail right outside my hotel. But actually, let's talk about this for a second. I stayed sober at a work conference, dude. This is a big deal.
Monumental moment for DThack over there, baby.
It was tough, dude. It felt like everywhere we went there was alcohol. Last year was like just the big events. They had alcohol. This year, every night after event ended, open tab at the bar. Then we go to like a charity thing. We painted. I painted a little turtle.
You painted yourself.
I didn't even get to choose. That was just happened to be what was at my group table.
Hey, destiny is destiny, baby.
So we had to do these paintings that they're putting in hospitals around the country who can't afford artwork. I'm like, they don't want this. But I roll up in there, dude. They got 2 mobile bars, soft pretzels, mini corn dogs, all this shit. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me right now. I stayed strong.
How'd you feel afterwards? I tried to pull up your profile picture so people would understand, but it won't blow up. And
we had a whole episode about it. That's where it actually happened. I mean, I felt good. I feel confident coming out of it because I did hold back. But in the moment, I felt like a loser.
Hey, there's a part of a bullet point in the topic that I want to talk about today. And it is
feeling like a loser.
Create conditions for success. And this is one of those scenarios where you created a condition for success despite what was going on around you.
I think I could have successfully had a couple beers.
Yep. Hey, this is how I know you're dialed, though, because the last couple of times you did 75 hard.
I was doing the DTI 50.
Well, whatever it was. You didn't even make it past like 5 days. So you're already leaps and bounds ahead. But you got a long road ahead of you with 75 hard still.
I'm third of the way in.
Yeah, long road ahead.
That's the easy part now. I'm coasting. I'm on cruise control.
There we go.
It's actually, I feel like it's going to be easier. This work trip was the big one for me that I knew I had to get over.
Anybody trying to pressure you to drink, or were people in support?
I mean, they gave me shit, but not like after the first night. It was a normal thing.
Yeah.
Not most people knew, but like if I didn't really talk to you that often, you thought I had a beer because I just had athletics. The one day I think I put down 6 athletics.
There you go. You're like, this 0.5 just get me drunk.
I'm at the point where like I think I can convince myself I have a bus.
You said that in the snack group the other day, and I was dying laughing.
If you know me, then you know I love a good beer, but I also like waking up early to train. That's where Athletic Brewing Company comes into play. Athletic makes award-winning non-alcoholic craft beer that tastes like the real thing because it is the real thing, just without the alcohol. These are for people who train hard, who chase goals, who live active, but still appreciate cracking open something cold at the end of the day. And here's what we love most. Choosing Athletic isn't about removing something, it's about keeping everything that matters. Flavor, ritual, social moments, and still being able to perform tomorrow. So if you want a beer that fits your lifestyle instead of fighting against it, hit up Athletic Brewing Co. and use code Dylan20 for 20% off your first order. Back to the show.
Quick pause to shout out one of the brands we've been repping lately, Optic Nerve. If you spend time running, grinding outside, or just living life in motion, these are the kind of shades that work. Optic Nerve has been around for over 4 decades, building sunglasses that blend real performance and clean style. The polarized lenses deliver 100% UV protection, cut glare, and keep your vision sharp, whether you're hitting a morning run, midday errands, or winding down after. We use this because for us, it's not just about looking good. It's about practicality and comfort. So if you're tired of cheap shades that don't hold up, hit up Optic Nerve. Go to opticnerve.com and grab you a pair today. Use code DTI at checkout and you'll get 20% off. Back to the show.
It's real.
Yeah. Well, I think that conversation can steamroll into the overall conversation of today, where it's don't set goals in 2026. And when I heard this, I was like, what the hell does it mean?
Where did you hear this at?
Miss Mel Robbins and a guest that she had on her podcast.
Okay. He sent me this transparently about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, don't set goals. So then I looked into it a little bit more and I was like, dude, this aligns with the mission and vision, baby. Let's talk about it. And I think it's a good way to position it because everybody is always like, oh, I'm setting a goal of this, or I'm going to set a goal to achieve X, Y, Z. And typically they don't blossom into much. And typically goals are like short stints or short spurts in life. And so I think all of 2026, we don't need to set goals because of the benefits that loop into it with what we talk about all the time is habits. And so when I sent it to you, what was your initial thought around it?
My initial thought was, I need to hear where he's going with this because I immediately want to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see what the take is.
Okay. And I guess just right off rip, why would you disagree with that when you hear it first?
I more so disagreed when you sent the second one. So you said, don't set goals in 2026, but instead lean on systems and habits.
Yep.
And yeah, that's things I do, but also like just having a habit isn't going to get me to run 100 miles. Because when you have a habit of working out, that doesn't mean you can go bench 550.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can have all these habits, but it doesn't mean it's going to put you there. Like at some point you're going to have to be like, okay, this is the target. Now I have to scale to that.
Yeah.
And then like, I guess for myself anyway, like I have the goal over a period of time, which especially if we're talking short stints here, it's not a short stint. It's not been a short stint to go sub 3. That's a multi-year goal that's constantly being worked towards. So yes, there's systems and habits in place, but at some point there has to be a target or else you're just doing it to do it.
Yeah. The way I look at it is when we talk about all the time painting that big picture of what the dream life is that you want, anything that you want to achieve in it, a relationship, financial success, building a house, moving across the country, like whatever it is, you set these dreams, goals, and aspirations that you have in life. And we always take a step back to evaluate those and then create the system that allows us to introduce habits into our lifestyle to make those things come true. And so when I think of goals, like I don't know if I really understand the meaning of goals, because for me, they're just like, they don't work towards the overall picture. I feel like they're short, like little minute things in life. And again, you can look at a sub 3 as like a goal of yours, but I don't consider those things goals because of the effort and the things that are going into them. And so when you set these big tasks or big visions, no, take it for what you will. When you set these big things, they're more than just like quick little like goals. I guess to me would be like quick little things that just, all right, I got to check this box. I got to do
But there's
this.
short-term and long-term goals. Like there's two different types of a goal.
Yeah, maybe I look at it as more of like,
Okay, what would you call you wanting to build your home and then being able to finally do it?
my dream,
Okay.
an aspiration of mine, a desire of mine.
I think that if you looked up the definition of a goal, all of those things would be synonymous.
Maybe it's then looking at it from the standpoint of like the meaning behind a goal and making sure that those systems are in place or the habits are in place to achieve those things. So instead of focusing on the goal the entire time, you focus on those system and habits to actually make that come true.
I do agree with that. And I think that there are goals that are counterproductive to a life that you want to live. I think that there's short-term goals that people, I mean, I've openly said that 100 miles isn't healthy.
Yeah.
It's something I want to do to see if I can do it, but I don't hold me to this. I don't think it's going to be something like that I'm going to keep doing repeatedly. So I do think that there's people who set goals and then they take them off course because it's like for a short time, like, I could do this for 3 months just because it's what I want to do. But then they come back and now the progress really didn't benefit them in the long run for the dream or vision or whatever big thing you're looking at. But I guess I don't really set short-term goals anyways though. Like mine are, they're like 4-mile builds, but like it's a goal that because of my systems and habits, I've already been able to just step it back up and get into it.
So maybe this is the unlock. Do you think people who don't have anything in place or any traction towards what they want to work towards, do you think that they should focus on the system and habits first and then create the goals off of it? Or do you think that they should still set goals even though they've proved to themselves so many times that they're not going to stick to it, they're not going to accomplish it, achieve it, because they always take the easy way out? And the easy way out could be you at this conference being like, you know what, I'm going to cave and have the drink. You know what, I'm going to cave and not get on my run today. You know what, because there's not so much of a meaning or a purpose behind it. And so maybe from like that standpoint, and again, it can be counterintuitive because we're also used to setting goals, but maybe somebody who doesn't have that discipline in their life needs to focus on those system and habits in order to be able to get to a point where they can set a goal of 100 miles or they can set a goal of a marathon, like whatever that is. But in the beginning, I mean, dude, we see it right now. Like people who try and go from 0 to 100, there's a lot of little things that play a factor on why that can't happen. But everybody gets this ambition, they get this drive, they get this motivation to be like, I'm gonna do it because I want to prove somebody wrong, because I want to. And then you look at it and it's like, well, do the risks outweigh do the pros outweigh the cons? Do the risk outweigh the benefits? Like when it comes down to actually being able to do something and stick with it because it's changing your lifestyle, I think sometimes goals can be a little bit too lofty because nobody has those system and habits in place.
I get where you're coming at from there for sure. And I think that it's obviously dependent on the person, but as a blanket statement, yes, systems and habits for an undisciplined person who's already not proven that they can show up for themselves, a goal is not going to work. Because you're always going to shoot something higher. You're going to say, I want to lose 100 pounds. I want to, like, you're going to do something that's so outside the realm of what you can even comprehend at this point. Like, let's lose 5 pounds, bud. But like, let's start somewhere because you're not going to lose 100 till you lose 5.
Yep.
And so, yes, I think like if you put these things in place, that they're going to benefit you better than setting a goal. I don't want to demonize goals because I think that they're good and I do think that they can help people push towards something. But I mean, our main thing that we preach is habits. Yeah. So this is something that we've already been talking about. So yes, systems and habits are what are ultimately going to get you where you need to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I look at it in my, the way that I kind of talk in my daily drive-bys and stuff like that. And it really is like just creating that condition in your life for success and whatever that looks like, and not getting caught up in the noise of like what the latest and greatest is or what the, like you even see these vibrating boards that are out that people are standing on.
Mandy wants one so bad.
Yeah. So do the girls. And you see,
just shake. Just shake.
And then you see like the face mask, you see the journaling, you see all of these things that people are doing, and they are all great in retrospect. But again, which one of those are important to incorporate in your lifestyle to create the conditions so that way you can see the results that you want? But if you don't have the actual results that you want to go after, which could be considered goals, you first have to establish that foundation. And I think maybe that's where, and this is why I love these conversations, because when I do the daily drive-bys and stuff that I just brought up, I say things that I need to hear just as much as I think other people need to hear. And I talk through things. And then by the end of it, I'm like, dude, that makes sense. It's powerful. And I think that's the same thing here where we find ideas, we find topics to talk about, but then coming on here and actually speaking it with somebody else and like diving into it, it puts it into a different perspective of like, okay, we can agree that, you know, goals are important and you have to set those in your career, in your finance, in your home building, like whatever that next step is in life. But again, in order to be able to see those dreams come true, you first have to have that system and the habits in place. So that way you can start checking the box daily to actually work towards those things, build that traction, establish momentum, and then you have the discipline to take it off instead of going off of the motivation you have to then just fail because it dies.
All right, let's step back and come for the girls for a second. Well, is there such a thing as like overkill of habits or an overconsumption? Because what you just talked about is like what things are actually going to like move the needle for what you want. And so let's say we do this mask, we do this little fucking shake pad, we do this journal, like we do all these things. Should you already be seeing benefits from one of them before you throw another one in? Like, how do you know something's actually working if you're just doing 10 different things and you're still not where you want to be? Like, maybe not all of them are actually pushing you forward. You just want to do it because it's the next big thing that some influencer said, or it's all over fucking TikTok. Or, like, at what point are we like, maybe they're not all helping me get better?
Yeah.
I was gonna say reach my goals, but that's not the phrase we want to use here.
Yeah, I think there is an overconsumption of things that we need to do. At the end of the day, you got to just do the fucking basics, like whatever that is for that health and wellness. Because you can do a shake pad, but if you're out drinking every fucking day, if you're eating like shit, if you're not sleeping good, like there's so many other things that are important to create that foundation than getting on that next bandwagon trend and buying something to be like, oh, let me use this for a month. Like, dude, we bought one of the walking treadmills. In theory, great. Amazing concept. Love it. But then practicality, like, have you been on a work call when somebody's on one of those walking pads and they're just like,
I haven't been on a work call like with, oh, you mean like somebody on the screen?
Yes.
No, I have not. But also, they're loud, bro.
They're loud.
They're louder than a regular treadmill.
They're clunky. They're not convenient at all. Like when I had one in here, I had to position it sideways for it to fit conducive in my environment, and it just doesn't work. Like, granted, there might be some areas that people have that are big. People, we get it. There's a left and right spectrum to all of this. But it's, like you said, it's one of those things where, like, instead of buying the latest thing, which is a walking pad, why not just take a step away from your desk for 15 minutes, go outside, walk the block, get fresh air, get sunlight? I think some of these things take us away from, like, the foundation, what's important. There's so much more value of stepping away from your computer during the day, going outside, getting a quick lap in, getting that sun, the air, rejuvenating, grab water on your way in, pulls you away from it. So that way you can come back and focus. Just like the 7 Japanese habits that we talked about the other day. Like, work for X amount of time, take a step back, re-energize, go work again. Take a step back, re-energize, go work again. But have intent behind those things, because when there's purpose behind it, there's typically a good payoff with it. Now, granted, some people are going to be like, I can't walk away from my desk and blah, blah, blah. Okay, then fucking use the walking pad. But I think that they are a waste of goddamn money.
You have a break.
Yeah, everybody does. And most people have lunches that they take. And instead of doing anything productive, they sleep, they get on their phone.
Sleep is crazy.
Dude, I was just talking to somebody the other day. He manages a team. And he's like, some people sleep at their desk for an hour because they're mandatory.
In the office?
In the office. Guess what,
That's
too?
Crazy.
I said, no, we don't gotta We don't got to pick fun at people. But like, you think they got good habits in their life? You think they're... And he's like, no, bro. That's why they're fucking tired all day long.
An hour nap is a long nap, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm gonna nap, like, it's first of all, it's gonna come from a day where I didn't get enough sleep. And I need like 15 minutes just to like feel refreshed. I've never taken an hour-long nap and felt better when I woke up. I'm more tired.
You got to take that power nap, a.k.a. that cat nap, baby. 20-minute cat nap. If you care about putting in work, whether it is crushing workouts, staying sharp during long days, or just doing right by your body, First Form gets it. First Form isn't about the hype. They build on quality, stand by service, and measure everything by real-world results. Their lineup covers it all. Top-tier protein powders, clean pre-workouts, vitamins, green support, and energy drinks. Even apparel for lifestyle. My go-to, their flagship protein and their clean energy drink. Perfect for after a tough session or to get dialed in for a long day. The energy drink drops 200 milligrams of natural caffeine from green tea, has 0 sugar, electrolytes, and nootropics for focus, all without the crash of traditional energy drinks. So if you're done settling for mediocre supplements, if you want stuff that's built on intention, integrity, and performance in mind, check out First Form. Head over to firstform.com/DTI to browse their full stack and see what fits your goals. All right, let's get back to the show.
If you care about staying sharp, energized, and ready to perform, Ketone IQ might be for you. Ketone IQ delivers clean, stable energy without a crash. Unlike caffeine-heavy picks, Ketone IQ uses exogenous ketones that raise your levels, giving your body and brain a different kind of fuel. What that means for you is sharper focus on early morning runs, better mental clarity when you're working or grinding through long days, and sustained energy without the jitters or sugar crash. If you want to try it out, head over to KetoneIQ.com and use code Dylan30 at checkout. You'll get 30% off your order. Back to the show.
My dad used to come home from work, midday, get lunch, take a 20-minute cat nap. He'd go off and bust his ass the rest of the day.
Yeah, I have a hard time taking naps in general, though. I just like can't fall asleep during the day.
Oh, dude, there's, especially waking up at like 4:30, about midday after I eat, I'm like, let's power up. Go and get that cat nap in 20 minutes max.
Sleeping at his desk.
I don't even be getting under the covers or nothing. People that get under the covers for nap, no, that's sleep, bro. You ain't trying to nap, that's sleep.
That's why I can't nap. I need the conditions of sleep to nap.
Yeah, no. I lay like diagonal on the bed, arm on the head, 20 minutes, good to go. Good to go. Like I just did crack cocaine.
I'm like really fishing in my brain right now. I had something to say a couple minutes ago, but we talked about something else and it is not there.
It's all right. That little peanut brain keeps it can be a struggle.
It'll come eventually. It was on topic. It wasn't off topic, but it's not there right now.
All right. Well, if it comes back, bring it into the conversation, dude.
Will do.
Diving deeper into habits, since we're always talking about those, establishing a habit needs to be in place. Establishing a habit needs to be in place before it can be improved upon. And so what I mean by that is when we introduce these new things, whether it's a fucking shake pad or it's a red light mask or it's steps or whatever it is, you first have to get it into your lifestyle before you can do anything with it. Meaning start small, do the daily actions so that way you can improve that habit and grow it.
What's the purpose of a shake pad?
It like improves circulation and inflammation and
bro, fucking put your legs up on the wall. And I was actually curious, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked into it much.
It feels like a scam.
I think it's like one of them shake weights where you're
you gonna make one? The shake pad, dude.
Hell no. I will not condone a shake pad. You're about to see me in videos just like
there's 100% going to be a shake pad in this home. If there's not one already,
there's not
within the next month. If you think that someone's not giving them a shake pad, you're crazy.
I'm sure they could do it, but it's kind of quieted down. They haven't talked about it much, so I don't bring it up.
Oh, I'm bringing it up.
She wanted my mom to buy her it for Christmas. I didn't send it to my mom. I sent her all the other gifts. Sorry if you hear this low.
Now she's going to get one just to spite you.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
Oh, man. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you like that.
I would say something provocative, but I'm not going to. We're going to keep this PG-13 today. Onward. Feel like you got some topics to talk about.
No, I thought you were still going. I thought I interrupted you with the shake pad thing, so I was going to let you finish out.
Yeah, no. No, you kind of killed that topic, so...
My bad, dude. I just wanted to know what it was. I keep seeing them, but I don't know what the benefit is.
Well, I think it helps with like cellulosis as well.
Careful. Careful, dude. I've already been getting people coming for me for my fat shaming on the internet lately.
Yeah, I don't hate it though.
Me either.
I mean, facts are facts.
Fat is fat. We're all over the place right now. I feel like we can't like grab onto a single thought.
Anytime there's traction starting, it's like,
oh shit! What the fuck was I gonna say, dude? Oh, I actually think I got it.
There we go.
We were talking about these people going out of their house for walks, and you said like they can't get. Do you think that like a lot of it is that they just don't want to be out in the world? I thought about this the other day. I actually have it written down as a topic. But it has to do with something else. Like they just don't want to. Not everyone, obviously, but I think there's like a large group of people who just don't want to be in the real world. They just want to like stay in their little bubble, stay in their home, stay in whatever little online community they have that supports all their beliefs and never goes against them, and they just want to stay there forever. And so, getting out and going for a 15-minute walk puts that at risk.
So. I will try and tie this in, and I will not say any names.
Oh,
but
call them out.
Do you think that's the case because these people that don't want to go out into the world or do these things is because they're not happy in life, like with themselves or with what's going on?
All right, dude, let me pull up my topic. I was going to say this one because I thought it could be like a full topic, but we might as well just get into it now.
Okay.
It has to do with like, you said that they're not happy in life. Is that what you said? Yeah. So like this whole thing that I've been having is like this battle of like the idea that we're supposed to live a simpler life. And like, if you think back to like, let's skip our parents. Let's go to our grandparents. You don't ever hear anybody saying like, yeah, grandpa was just anxious all the time. Like he's had so much anxiety. Like he was depressed. Like these things didn't exist. And I think that a majority of it, which I think is the same problem that these people have with they're not happy or they don't want to be out in the real world. They don't want to interact with people. I think a lot of it comes down to social media and just overexposure. Like you can't be anxious if like you go to work, you come home, you take care of your family and you fucking rinse and repeat every single day. Like I think like they were just busier, and not like busier in the sense of like had so much more to do. They were just, their time was like monopolized by like, I have to do this thing to provide.
Yeah.
And so now we got a lot of free time, man. Like a lot has been freed up by like technology and like advancements that we've made as a race. And yeah, it's good. It propels everything forward. Like a lot of great things have come from it. But I think like the social aspect of it is really fucking people up. And like unless like you make a conscious effort to stay in it, you're gonna be unhappy, you're going to be anxious, you're going to be depressed, you're going to be all of these things. And there's ways to combat it, but I don't think that anybody's really taking the time to do it because that's overwhelming and that's anxious and that's like it's, they just pile on top of each other. And so instead I'll stay in my house.
Yeah. And they use the time where they could be going out, getting walks, or even going to the grocery store or calling somebody and talking to them. Instead, they hunker down and they double down on their phone, scrolling social media because that's their escape. That's their time away. But I ask this because there's somebody in my life, and they will know who I'm talking about when I say this, who was anxious and nervous to go to the stores, who was in their head more than they would have liked to be, didn't like who they were looking at in the mirror. And they simply changed a couple things around in their life. And within 35 days, it's all like pretty much changed and turned around. Mindset wise, excitement, happy with the person they're looking at in the mirror, going to the grocery store and not getting nervous and anxious when they go, even like driving in a car and stuff like that. And so this is where I think the topic that we were trying to talk about earlier can come into play about why it's so important to focus on those little things and why setting goals might not be the thing. It's like looking at it as habits in the beginning, because habits don't have the stress on them, bro. Habits are like, okay, let's check this. I'm going to do this because I know it's working towards something, instead of putting that lose 100 pounds up on the TV and looking at that every day and getting scared from it. It's like, you know what? Let's take a step back. And instead, I'm going to just focus on these 3 things. And maybe that's eating a breakfast or getting up earlier or going for a morning walk, like those little tiny things that ultimately are going to build to the results that they want. But they don't have to be intimidated. They don't have to be scared, because they're already living in a scared, intimidated world, because they're in their head so much and they can't get out of it to see like, okay, this is tangible. I can achieve this. But when you look at that big thing, that big goal, it's like, oh shit, I don't know this and that. I don't, like, we deal with it all the time when we're working with people. And so it puts it into perspective that the people that you have referenced or that we're talking about that might be scared to go out in this world, I think that it's only because they've gotten themselves into such a dark corner, because they're not doing anything to try and change their mindset or try and change their perspective. And so looking at it from a different angle is like, all right, I can achieve this. I can accomplish it because I'm just going to do this every single morning. So I look back on my journey when I was in Texas, going through that darkest point in my life that we talk about, experiencing depression for the first time, anxiety, like looking back at it now, there was one simple thing that got me started in this whole entire path. And that was literally lacing my shoes up and just going outside. And the next thing you know, when I started going outside, I was walking a little bit more. I was walking a little further. I saw a trophy gym and I was like, oh, that's a dope gym. I want to go there. Why do I want to go there? No idea. Ended up going there. Then that led to me eating better. Then that led to me sleeping better. Then that led to me doing all these different things, because I just pushed the limits in the beginning of doing something small, which seemed extremely big. And it's crazy to think back in the day, or it's crazy to think now that back in the day, all I had to do was go outside and walk a little bit more. And then that led me down this path to where we are now, 4 years later for this. Everything is like building around it and stuff like that. But dude, when you can finally start seeing that clearer vision in life, when you can finally start seeing that version of you that you're like, I love the person I'm becoming. I love the things that I'm doing. I know I still have these big things that I want to achieve or accomplish in life, but it's going to happen. You realize like, I don't ever want to go back down that path again. And so you do everything you can, systems, habits, goals, whatever the fuck it is, you do those things because you're like, you know what? The good days make the bad days better. And I don't ever want to live in those bad days ever again, because I didn't like the way I felt. I didn't like the way I looked at myself. I didn't like the way I talked to myself. I didn't like the way I thought of the world. And then it all starts changing for you to be able to blossom into the person that is reaching their dreams, goals, and aspirations in life, because now they don't have to worry about the little things because they already got through everything.
Yeah, I think that if we were to rephrase beginning of the episode, if you're new, don't set goals in 2026. Because I do think it's a new person thing. I think goals are big. They're intimidating. They have too many moving parts. Like, the goal of losing 100 pounds is like 20 habits stacked on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, you can't lose 100 till you lose 5. Like, you got to just start with one habit. And that's what we say all the time. Everyone who comes on, we try to make them do less. Some people don't listen and they try to do more, and it never works out.
It literally has never worked out,
Never works out, dude.
Never.
And so just start small. Start with a walk. Start with more water. Start with like prioritizing sleep. It doesn't matter which one you want to choose, but just do a habit. And after a couple weeks, that habit is going to be just that. Like, you're not going to think about it. It's going to be habitual. It's just something that you do. Then you can do another one and another one. And eventually you can set a goal. But at that point, I don't even think you need to. I think you're already like, you're going to be halfway to achieving your goal. So like, I don't necessarily set goals like that either. Like, mine are all like big endurance events just because that's where I'm at. So my mindset in the beginning was very different than what we're talking now. If you're new, goals are probably the enemy. They're going to be more discouraging than they are encouraging.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we have a prime example of what we're going through right now of why people need to, I'm going to say it in confidence. People need to listen to us. Like, we have tested this theory over and over and over again. It's just like when somebody comes to me and they're like, hey, will you make me a program? I'm like, yeah, I'll make you a program. All right, cool. All right, it's this amount a month. I figured out what I got to do, or okay, I'll sign up. And then they exit after 1 month. Hey, I got it down pat. I know what I'm doing. It's like, okay, we'll see. And every single person who has come in and left within a month or two, or who has heard that we're going to charge them a month and didn't follow through with it, does not do any of the things that they originally said they wanted to do, or they're going after anything like that. And so it's always like you have to have somebody have a foot in the race. And that's the reason that we charge for these things.
There's no fucking accountability.
There's no accountability. And so it just makes me almost go crazy that somebody is not willing to invest some amount of money in their life to have an accountability partner, to have a coach, to have somebody that's on their side wholeheartedly, that wants them and deep down cares for them to reach their dreams, goals, aspirations, whether that's walking 3,000 steps in the beginning or running 100 miles. Every step of that way, bro, you have somebody there to support you, to push you through on the hard days, to keep you going on the easy days, to be able to make these things come to light or life in your life that you want. And so it's just, it's absolutely wild to me.
There was a time where I didn't want to either. There was a time where I really didn't want to pay somebody. But we've seen the return on it now. Like, we've done it and we've seen what it's done for us. And I think, like, when people think it like, they're like, oh, they're just going to give me a program and be hands off. There's clients we talk to every single day.
Yeah.
Like, we have people we talk to on a daily basis. We have people we talk to weekly, bi-weekly. Like, there's different cadences, but like, whatever you want to do, and it doesn't even have to be with us. There's a coach out there who's going to be able to give you what you need.
Why do you think that every fucking school in America and beyond has teachers in it? Why do you think that those teachers have a principal in it? Why do you think that principal has a, whatever it is, a superintendent? Like, then that superintendent has somebody as well. And then, like, big companies, you have your managers, your directors, your VPs, your CEOs, you have the board. Sports teams have defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, a head coach, a GM. Everything in life has a coach. Whether you look at a teacher as a coach or you look at a coach as a coach, it doesn't matter. Every single thing where people need to progress to reach a certain height or limit has somebody attached to it for accountability, for that charisma, for that passion, for that drive. Because those teachers, those coaches, those superintendents, they want the best for everybody underneath them. And so they're going to do everything in their power to hold these people accountable. So that way these people hold these people accountable. These ones hold these. And then next thing you know, now you have, like, think about like Clearview and stuff like that. I went there. So I'm just using that as an example. Clearview, back when I went there, had a good reputation. It was a good school to go to amongst the schools in my area. And so my parents were like, I want my kid to go there. They sat outside all night in the blistering cold to be able to open enroll us into a school that they deemed was the best for us because of what that school had laid out previously to get the reputation that it got. Same thing for, like, DTI is when clients come in and they grab on to the concept of what DTI is, they buy into it. They start seeing the goals: weight loss, mental clarity, motivation, better communication with their significant others, more energy, not crashing midday, focusing on all the, like, dude, there's been people that have gotten off of medication working with us. There's people that have gotten out of therapy working with us. There's people that have got promotions working with us. There's people who started social media because of us. There's people who have moved out of their hometown or are currently trying to move out of their hometown to go and pursue a bigger career, a better career somebody else or somewhere else. There's people that have lost 87 pounds to 20 pounds to 100 pounds with us. Like, all of those things are testimonies on why it's important to have a coach or somebody that can be there to hold you accountable. Whether that's talking to them every single day, talking to them bi-weekly, talking to them once a month, like, everybody needs different attention. And so as long as you show the attention that you need, it's reciprocated in any of those different areas. You're struggling at work, Your boss is there to hold you accountable and be like, how can I help you, this and that? They give you systems, they give you habits to put in place to be able to like achieve or reach those things. And so for me, it's like, man, if all of this stuff is so important and we always say we want this, we want that, then why aren't we willing to get somebody in our corner for a realistically a low amount of money, whether it's us or somebody else, to hold you accountable? That's why I went with Tribal when I was doing the half Ironman. Not because I didn't think that you and I could do it, but I'm like, let me get around a community of people that are doing it. So that way they can hold me accountable. That way they can motivate me. That way they can give me a different perspective on things. And throughout that process, it taught me so much about life. It taught me so much about myself. And then I took things and I was like, well, this is important for us to instill in DTI because I see the value of it over here.
It's the same reason I got a marathon coach. Like I could do it on my own, but I also know I'm going to cut corners.
Mm-hmm.
Even with this 100, I'm doing this one on my own and it's more about volume. But because I know that it's more about hit the weekly miles, I shift things around all the time. With marathon prep, I didn't move a single thing, dude, because I knew I had to answer to somebody else. It's so much different when I answer to myself or I answer to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, when is that light bulb going to go off for somebody where the change outweighs them making excuses to not go after it, to not pursue it? Because there comes a point in everybody's life, no matter what happens, where something triggers and they're like, I can't keep living like this. But the thing is, the people that keep living like that don't find that route to be able to get out of that big crevice or that big divot that they're in, that they keep going in life. So they keep drinking, they keep eating like shit, they keep scrolling social media, they stop talking to people as much, they hibernate in their house because they're like, you know what, this is all I got. Because it comes to a point where you can't see outside of that. You get so far down in the ground that it's like, wow, there's really nobody around. Yet there's so many people standing on the top of that divot that want to pull them out, that want to help them. But if you never take action on any of these things, you'll never be able to pull yourself out of your own mind, ever. I would not have been able to do that if I did not start getting around environments that were able to help pull me out. We talk about physical fitness all the time. I don't think we talk about mental health enough, but that's because I don't think you always have to harp on those things, because we talk about the valuable stuff to be able to do to pull you out of the mental side. But I'm telling you, bro, when you go through a mental fucking crisis, when you go through depression and anxiety, you literally feel like you are in a world by yourself, tunnel vision, that nobody wants to help you. And then you reach out to people and people give you advice and guidance, but then you fight them on it because you still are believing one thing when that's not the case. And when you can finally look up and see that, one, there's light up there and there's people cheering you on and wanting to make you better, your friends, your family, people down the road, your neighbors, like the world is, despite everything that's going on, which it's a very wild and crazy world right now, whether it's weather or politics or whatever it is, this is the time where like we truly have to focus on those system and habits that we have. Because, dude, if you turn the news on, you could think that the world's fucking ending with everything that's going on. Like, there's just so much. And that's why I try like to preach and say, like, stop focusing on these things. And granted, I know they're important and I know that like messages need to be heard. And I know that there's all these things as well. But if you get into that and you're only letting this stuff now fester in your mind and your brain, you're going to drive yourself fucking crazy, bro.
It can't be your sole focus. Like, as much as you hate what's going on, as much as like you want to change it, like you don't have the power.
Yeah.
And that sucks because like people want to think like, oh, if we all come together, we do. But like time and time again, historically, it's been proven that we don't. The only thing that you can do is change yourself. And these things, while yes, like we're talking about physical and mental side, like if everyone did them though, everybody would be in a better place mentally. And they would, like the outlook that they would have on the world would be so different that I obviously can't say this because it's never going to happen. But like some things would calm down. Like things wouldn't be this bad. But it takes like, sadly, a huge catastrophic event for somebody to be like, you know what, I'm going to change the way that I act. Like it took loss and depression for you to be like, you know what, let me get out of this. Like it's never going to be like just one day they wake up, nothing's changed and they're like, yeah, I'm good. I think I'm just going to go the other way. like that's not how it happens, man.
Yeah. It doesn't happen like that at all. And like you said, like that's one of the best things about like, and I know I don't go to them, but again, I have different environments that I'm in, but that's one of the great things about these like run clubs and stuff like that, because they're bringing people together to help focus on just running and having conversations during the week or the weekend, whenever those things are, which is pulling you away from all of this fucking noise that we have readily available at the palm of our hands to soak ourselves in. And so instead of somebody scrolling for an hour, getting invested in it more, maybe they're invested out the 23 hours outside of that run club, but at least they get fucking out there. And at least they don't have, most people aren't talking about a lot of things that are being talked about on social media and the world and stuff like that. And if they are, it's for like a glimpse. Now, granted, there are some people that love to talk about these things, but I just try and not have conversation with those, not because I don't care about what is going on and what's happening, but because I'm like, it's draining. And so like, how can I be like somebody that's shining light on just living that better life or, living that better life or focusing on these little things just to think and act differently. Because I don't know, when you focus on these habits and these systems, like, dude, I don't get stressed out as much. I don't get up in arms as much. I don't get like conducive, combative. I don't get in like arguments as much because none of that stuff to me like really matters. And so I don't put my time or energy in it because it doesn't fuel the goals or the missions that we have in life. It's all about perspective. And so being able, how can I transition my mindset to keep going down the right path of the things that I want to achieve and accomplish? And I'll keep taking it back to it's the system and habits that we have in place because they pull you in a direction completely different than if you don't have them. And I think that's why it's important to get involved with a group or a community. It could be a knitting community. It could be a fucking writing book committee. It could be a coloring book committee. It could be going and helping out at a food bank. Like there's so many things that can get you around people. You just got to get out of the house and you got to find them. Makes me sad. Like people don't realize the value around being around people who have the same mission, vision, and value of the things that you want to achieve or go after in life. But yeah, I think I'm glad that the podcast ended up being, I think, somewhat successful after 25 minutes of getting into it. But the overall mission and value of this podcast, I think, is to keep preaching what's important. It's those little things in life. It's the small daily actions and habits that you have, because those little things make you able to see the bigger things, and they work towards the stuff that you deem as important in life, whether it's your dreams, goals, and aspirations, whether it's just trying to get out of the slump that you're in or trying to change your mindset to keep working in the right direction. Just go after your dreams, go after your fucking goals, whatever you want to call them. And just remember that when we say goals aren't important and they're not something you should focus on, that's because in the beginning, you have to focus on the little things. You have to create that system. You have to create those habits that you have, gain that traction so you don't burn out, gain that traction so you don't stop, and then start setting those goals for the bigger thing. But if you have that big picture in your mind and in your life of what you want to achieve and accomplish, eventually all of that stuff is going to steamroll to that engine of painting it and making it actually come true. So go out there, have the desire to inspire, and live your dream life. Kiss your mama for us, and have a good week, whenever you're listening to this. It's on.
Peace.